Welcome back to NZ Mopar again. Outlaw Kustoms, but without the NM, or whatever it is. Yeah, without the NM at the top. That's Heidi and Arco. Anyway, so today, plan, what are we there? Must be 23rd of December, just before Christmas. 2021 if you're watching it in the future. Hey, apparently I am in the future, but Wayne Reynolds, no, I can't give you a lot of numbers because there would be a lot of numbers from here, not over there. So I'm going to rub back the little bits of glazing putty that I scraped in a couple of holes on these. Spray them black, I think. To double check, make sure there's no obviously bare spots of metal or anything that's anything significant. If there's an odd little spot on a egg or something like that, like there's a couple of little bits that are showing. I'm not too panicked, but it's not ideal. They will get another prime and whatever else afterwards, possibly. But yeah, it's not a good idea to have bare metal showing when you're putting paint on. And I will also knock back the body puller I put on that thing yesterday, the last of that before I left. So I'll put some of that on, I'll knock that off and start sanding that back out. And I'll probably start rubbing it back with a bit of, because I'm only knocking it back with the DA at the moment, with the, whatever it is, 40 or 36 grit or whatever, I can't remember what those pads are. Again, they're not very good. I think I'm just going to break out and just buy 3M because everything else just pisses me off. Even the wet and dry, the Norton, it's okay when it's wet, when you use it for wet and dry, but I would like to actually try 3M wet and dry, see if I can find some, see what it's like, because this is okay, but if you try and use it dry, it's just fucking garbage. It really is. Man, some of the sandpapers are just shit. They really are. I don't know if Norton's got a better quality range stuff, but I don't know. I don't like their paper. 3M, you can buy it and you can just use it, you know, and you can use the crap out of it till the paper's just about falling apart. But the grit that's on it will still keep cutting, you know. Whereas some of the other stuff will just, you use it for a while and it's fucking just flat out garbage. You know, you can use a piece of 3M all fucking day long. You know, especially if you're hand sanding or something like that, or just doing around edges and whatever, and you just keep going and going and going and going and going, and it'll just keep going. But this other stuff, you know, you'll be using it, and then it's like, you know, half an hour or an hour later, the frickin' piece of paper's falling to pieces, and you throw it away and get another bit. But 3M, you just keep using it and using it and using it and using it. You use it and abuse it, basically. But anyway, putting off that. So yeah, I'm going to get them painted with some black light, then spray them out so I can really see if there's anything else I really want to tackle. And get that knocked out. You know, I'll rub it back with some 80, and then I might, depending on obviously how the 80 goes, I might give it a quick polish up with some 220 or something like that, and maybe start chasing just marks before I put high build on it, because I am getting low on high build. I'm not low, but I'm getting down in that second can, and I'm hoping that I might have enough to get the bulk of it. I'm probably going to have to buy more, but because I think we're about done with this stuff, but I've still got that rear valance piece that goes over the fuel tank to do. I want to at least get another couple of coats, couple of 3 coats in those front. On the sides for the hood, whatever you want to call it, and I've still got the side balances to sort. Like I haven't done anything to them except for put each on them, so hopefully in the next week we'll get them sorted. Yeah, I'm just concentrating on this stuff, getting it to that level, and then I can start wet sanding them all out next week, and then hopefully just start pouring the final coat on, and also get that blocked out. And then I at least want enough product to put another couple of 3 on, if you know, minimum, so I can obviously really dial in to like this sort of point in the blue. Now the blue and the black, I sort of forgot, but the C.A.R I've copied a lot of the stuff off from Australia, the black and white one. He's got a delivery truck, the same model, and it's probably the same blue, or very, very, very close to it. It's not that sort of slightly darker blue, it's a bit more brighter dark blue, like the paint, and the black, and it looks really freaking smart. So I think it's a good choice. When I edit, I'll flick a picture up. They've sent me a picture in a message. I showed on Facebook, I put a picture up of the paint, yeah, he said, yeah, that's like my delivery, my 25 delivery truck, and it looks really smart, because it's a bright dark blue, if you know what I mean. It's not like it's not like a bright lighter dark blue. It's like a bright sort of mid to dark blue, I guess you want to call it. You'll see, but yeah, it does look really smart. Anyway, I'll get in with this stuff and stop waffling. Trying to think of anything else I'm going to be doing. No, there was pretty much this stuff today. Like these aren't going to take long, and then I don't really need to panic about them. I need to rub them back on the inside. I might rub them back on the inside. I don't really need to touch the outside until I'm ready, and then I'll give them a light rub out and whatever before we obviously paint. But I'm 100% happy with those. It's just the inside need to block out to just get it a little bit nicer on the inside. They're not bad, but just get a little bit nicer. So yeah, what else? That'll do in the meantime. Oh, and I might try and get some of that rust shit in the back of that body today or tomorrow, because then I can give it a chance to. I don't really want to do that. I want to get some stone guard before I do that. Yeah, I really need to do the stone guard not long after, and then blow a coat of black or something in there, if you know what I mean. Just a one coat over it, just to seal it up. I'm not sitting out 1.5 coat of coat, just make sure it's an even coat, you know what I mean. Yeah, in the back there. Because I don't really want to put that on and then leave it too long before I put something else over top. It's got to be greenish, like I said in yesterday's video. So anyway, I'll get going. Righty, so somebody sold my fenders. No, they didn't. I've got them hanging up there so I can, I think I'm going to just spray them with a couple of coats of primer, like I did them, and then lightly sand them back tomorrow, and then spray them black. I think that's a better way to do it. There's too many little bare patches. I just don't want to risk coming back later on and then something not adhering to the bare steel, just to be safe. But I need to go get a fucking hose clamp, because now my blue hose isn't long enough, because we've got a hole in the red one at the other end, and I need to fix that because it had a crimped on end. I've got the other end that I can stick in a hose to screw that on, and I've just got to put a hose clamp over it, but I don't have a hose clamp here, so I better go get a hose clamp. Alrighty, So I've got a couple of hose clamps, so I got a spare. And picked up some new gloves while I was there. But these hoses that have got these like clamped in fittings, if you grind the side off it and open it up a little bit, that bit'll come out and then you can put it back in the other hose. So yeah, don't just wind that off. You can just wind that off and put another fitting in, but if you grind that off, you can get the other fitting out. It's just a normal fitting. Then jam it in the other end of the long bit. Yeah. I guess I'll throw that in there in the meantime. Decide whether I want to keep it or not. But I'll jam it on the thing. Put a hose clamp over it. I probably got one that was too big. Yeah, probably did, but should be right. It'll squeeze up. And at least then I got my air hose back. Yeah. And then I'll get cleaning and priming. Right. Get these wiped down. Again, I just checked my spray on the my primer gun, and it was doing the same as what that other one was doing the other day. It was starting to get funny, so I just cleaned all those tips out. So you keep an eye on that sort of stuff if you're doing a lot of painting. You know, especially like, you know, if you're doing quite a bit of body work and whatever, and you're doing it backwards and forwards, doing a few coats. Keep those tips clean. Those ear holes. Well, that was a bit of a fuck up. A dirty great fucking run in it. But I think what happened was because I made the primer a bit thin, I put a bit much reducer in it, because I was only mixing up a little bit. And when I splashed it, I splashed it a bit much. And also when I come over the top, I hit the wire, or I think a wire or this, because you know, I'm not used to it being in the road. I've got a dirty great big run in there because it just must have, because I was spraying and stopped, it just and run. Should be right, we'll sand her off. So yeah, but yeah, there's actually a couple of runs in it, but no, it's all right. It's freaking. I don't know if I'll do that again or not. I thought it might have been a handy idea, but it's kind of a pain because it's something to run into when you're spraying. I think stands underneath would be way better than hanging stuff. That might be right for small stuff, but yeah, that was a bit of a. Probably if you'd been doing it all the time, it'd be right, but a little bit of a pain. But anyway, we'll let that flash off for a couple of days and we'll sand it off and then we'll spray it black. We'll probably have to because of that dirty great run. Still let it cure off. Bummer. Oh well. Right, so I'm just sanding this out. I've still got some sanding on there because I've been filling the weld area just to so it's tidy. And I've taken the back wheels off just so I can get into here. So I'll put another skim through that just to tidy it up. I'm not going to get fussy or anything like that. As long as it's smooth and there's no major holes in it, and then we'll spray some primer in and texture coat it, which will hide the rest. Same on here. I've knocked most of that off. I'll need to get in there and give it a bit more of a sand, but I'll probably give it another skim of filler first and just smear it out there as nice as I can, and hopefully tear that off one more time and just clean it up so it looks tidy and there's no big ugly weld marks and all that sort of crap in there. So that's about that, and I've sort of got this, well, light, people late, stupid freaking phones, so sensitive light. So I've got one of these up here too, so at some point shortly when I mix up some body filler, I'll mainly do the I'll have to do probably the whole thing because this is the way it's been step folded. It's you can see the lines in it. So I'll have to skim most of this, and I'll have to skim from sort of here back anyway. I'll have to check it for other dints and marks. Some of it I'll probably get away without putting too much body filler on, if you know what I mean. But I will definitely have to do the end sections in this piece here, you know, and smear it out into here a bit, and then we'll have to see what it's like, I guess. And just obviously just check it for any other damage and bits and pieces like that sits over top of rivets and stuff on the body. So really, there's only a certain amount of it you're going to see anyway. I'm not 100% sure how much. I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just mud this section out, and obviously the end bits where I've welded on and done a bit of shrink in there because it was a bit funny after me welding it on, I think. Yeah, I think that might have been my fault, just welding it too, not taking my time, not thinking about it. But it's alright. So yeah, we'll just mud the ends, and it's funny, that end's not nowhere near as bad as this, but I suppose it run down into here. But I'll straighten it out reasonably well through here. I'll just have to mud up into here probably, just to blend it out. But I'll have to do this anyway, so no biggie. So when I do obviously a bit of mudding on this, then I'll mix up some mixture and I'll spread it around those wheel arches. And once I get this one sort of roughed in, I'll throw that one up there and do the same on that. But I'll get this a bit more sanded out. This isn't looking too bad now. Still got a bit of sanding in here. Might have to put a little bit of glazing putty and stuff. Just, it was shit because I had to, because they had, when they made this, it just didn't fit. It was all queer. Again, they just one of those things that they've sort of, for some reason they'd slapped it together, and it was this, I can't remember which side it was. Might have been this side was way out like that at the bottom. It was like, this bend was like over here. And it was like half an inch or an inch over here. So it was all cockeyed over. And I had to bring this one as right as well. It wasn't as bad, but because I had to cut it and reshape it and whatever, yeah, now I've had to come in here and do quite a bit of body work. And I've just given it a good skim, so it looks nice and flat when it's painted, hopefully. And I'll just have to be careful where it's been welded through here too, and just make sure that looks decent. That's sort of these are going to be the two, this bit, and through here is going to be the shittiest, but the rest of it should be pretty easy. I might have to just hammer these edges a little bit, but a lot of this isn't really seen because it comes up against the fender comes up against it. Just in case you're wondering and you're new to the channel, so it comes up against here. You know what I mean? And he's got dusty quick, didn't he? But anyway, I'll carry on. I'll get some body filler on there, mix her up and put her on. So I know that it looks like a lot of body filler, and it probably is, but as I said, that's been put in a folder and like step rolled. That hasn't been actually put through a set of rollers. It's been done on a folder, on a CNC folder, and it's just come out like, you know, like a, I don't know, like an eighth or a couple of six, you know, a 16th or whatever each time, and it's gone and it's bent it up, and it's just gone a couple of degrees at a time and bent that over. I know because I've done it a million times, and it's not, because I've welded this on here, it's not perfect through here. It's not perfect through here, and there is the odd mark and dent in it just from being around, and the same in here. So I've sort of spread it down into here, but it's probably going to need a little bit more. Who knows? By the time we knock it off the first time, we'll soon know why we need more. No, and I'll probably sand a lot of it off anyway, but you know, it's definitely not perfect along these edges either, but a lot of that's probably under the body too. So I've got to be careful how much I come into here without and get fussy. So like, I sort of know that probably from sort of here this way, it's not really important as long as it looks good. You know, you can see where it's been sitting on the chassis, so you know, you got quite a lot that's not going to be seen by the time it gets back to here. You know, like your, what are you, 4 inches back in there basically at this end. So it's like at least 4 inches of this that's, you know, probably not seen. So it's probably only seen to about here, if you know what I mean. So as long as it's smoothed out through there, it's not going to matter too much. And at the front, no, it sticks out. Whatever, you know, whatever that distance is, basically, that's your chassis rail rolls down in there. So you see a fair chunk of it. I can do a measurement, but it's probably back to about here somewhere. So if you draw a line through to there to there, you know, I'll basically skim where it needs to be seen anyway. So should be right. We'll block that out with a big long block. I'll probably use that flat wooden one with once I've knocked the top off with the DA. Just use the big long block on it and block it out. At least it's easy to do. You know, even that's not too bad to do. You can still see the waves in it, so that might take a couple of skims on that just to get that waviness out of it. Should be right. What am I going to do now? I might actually mix up some more and put it in those reef benders. I actually thought it might have went further than that. I probably didn't need to spread it out quite that far on this, but a bit extra is not going to hurt. So I might mix up another half, not even half that puddle, you know what I mean? And just spread in around those rear piece. I might just get a half a decent scoop out of there and spread it around in there. And if I need a little extra, I'll just mix some more up, you know what I mean? You know, I'll carry on. I might actually mud the other one up too. I'll do those rear pieces and then I'll just try and sit this one somewhere. I'll bring the other one over. I might as well mud it up too. Righty, so this is where I'm at. It's almost 5. I've been waiting on this stuff to go off, but it's still almost sandable, if you know what I mean. Like it's sticky-ish. So I could probably almost get away with it now, but I might run the D over quickly. But so yeah, I've got that one mudded. It's basically done for body filler. It needs a couple little spots. I'd probably just use glazing body for that. I painted today, primed I should say. I've remudded in here. Hopefully that should be enough, maybe. Because all I want to do, it doesn't need to be dead flat or anything. I just want to sand it out so it's even. And no great holes in it or anything. And then it'll be a couple cuts of prime and then texture on the coat. and same here. Hopefully there's enough in there too to do the same thing and just blend it out, if you know what I mean. I put a little bit up into here, and there's actually a couple of little marks still in here. I could see from underneath when I was kneeling down doing that, but that'll just knock off when I sand the rest of it. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I've been up to today. So I think that'll do anyway in the meantime. So again, if you got this far on this video, please like, share, subscribe, all those sorts of things. Hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, whatever. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow, I guess, in this video, possibly, very possibly. I'll have to go through my footage and see, but if not, we'll see you in the next one. Alrighty guys, catch you later on. Right, morning fellas and fellasses. Welcome back to NZ Mopo Outlaw Kustoms. Feeling a bit rory this morning. Sorry, I hate to. So it's Christmas Eve, 24th, Friday. See, I'm in the future again. Sorry, Wayne, but no load of numbers yet. That's tomorrow night. I'll put them at the end of the video if I haven't edited it before then for you, Wayne. So anyway, the plans today, apart from making stupid jokes, I'm going to obviously knock back the body filler on those balances and probably do a reapply. I might give the rear fenders a sand back and maybe flick some black on so they've got a few days to cure. While I'm doing Christmas stuff, which is only going to be really 2 days for me. As much as I'd like to have more time off, just at this point in time, it's just not viable. I need to keep working. Hopefully, maybe next year, and I've done a couple of 3 builds and still going through others, and the bank account might be a bit more financial and I better actually take time off. Righty, so I just remudded that and basically gave another full skim. I took it a little bit further across, but tried to spread it out a lot, obviously a lot thinner this time, except through here and through here, obviously where we've done the bracing in there, because it's, obviously just, it's not dead straight through there. I've just spread it out a little bit thicker and a little bit further, but across here I just scraped it out pretty thin. And I just try to scrape it out a little bit better to get this to blend back into there, and obviously I just pulled it down a little bit further, trying to get that stuff to blend in a little better. So hopefully, maybe apart from that a little bit at each end, that should be the end of it, I think. It didn't look too bad before that. So I'll just put this up here. I'll knock this off now, and then I'll do the same thing, and then that'll I'll let, it's actually a wee bit cooler today. So hopefully by the time I've done that and mudded that, that should be getting reasonably dry. And then I'll start working on these things again and get them black, hopefully, with the, like I've done here with the semi-gloss. And then we can do the wet sand next week, between Christmas and New Year's. And yeah, then we will hopefully be ready for high gloss in them, and then we can obviously carry on with sanding the body and getting that really dialed in. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that blue on this thing. That truck that's, I've shown the picture of earlier in this video, but yesterday when I've been editing, yeah, it looks really smart with that similar sort of blue and the black. It looks really smart, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing it. Anyway, I'll get sanding. Righty, so I've sanded that back and I gave it another skim. It's actually, I wouldn't say it's thick, but I've spread quite a bit through here to try and just flatten it out because it's got a bit of a wave in it. But apart from that, and just what I had left over, I've just scraped in here. There was a few little marks that I hadn't quite got out of that one side. I'm just spreading actually a little bit in here with my finger and down here, just to try and fill some of the marks without putting it in there thick. It's not far away, but I'll set these up here. I've just moved that rear valance over there and put the hood tops up there, because obviously they're almost ready to go, so I didn't want to sit them over there with stuff that could maybe get knocked onto it, whereas that's not finished. So I want to give these a rub back and try and get that run off that side, and obviously give these a good sand back, and then get these prepped for black, hopefully before lunch. It's about 10 o'clock now, so it's probably going to take me, well, with pricking around with that, it's probably going to take me about an hour to clean these up, I guess. Sanding, well, it mightn't be that long, but by the time I get rid of that run, it might take me a while, because it's going to have to be gentle so I don't break through the steel. And we'll get a coat of semi-gloss on them. So that'll do in the meantime. A bit of an update. Go check the channel out. Outlaw. Oh man, there's this bloody video, or not video, sorry, photo. I don't know if they're also going to use it, but I can't wait to see what, if they use it in a like they use a video clip in one of their next videos. Because man, you're gonna piss yourself. You're mad, Jason. Second coat. Righty, so these got 3 coats before I run out of paint. I think they actually look pretty good. Better than the, sprayed out better than the last 2 anyway. Still a little bit orange peely. I'm still trying to suss out that paint through that gun, just to get it to flatten out nice. But it's good practice with doing this satin, because it's not the real thing, if you know what I mean. It's still got the good stuff to go over the top when we obviously sand this out and wet sand it. But look pretty freaking good to me so far. Don't see anything majorly wrong. When I spray this properly, I will really clean up in here and get rid of the dust. I actually want to get some box fans and stick underneath the door to help drag dust out and shit like that when I'm spraying. So hopefully I end up with a lot cleaner paint job. And I'll probably have all the doors closed as much as possible and all that sort of shit. I'll actually really clean up in here, because I'm not too panicked about this, if you know what I mean. Because it's going to be wet sanded out, so I just made sure these were clean and whatever, and wipe them down. But you can see the freaking dust, or just the shit floating in the air. I should have closed the doors. Would have helped probably. But should be right. I'm pretty happy how they sprayed out though. And I actually might, when I spray it properly, because I've been spraying it through this, which is 1.4, I might use this as 1.3. It should be a, it should be spray better, I would think, because it's a better brand of gun. It's a DeVilvis, it's one of the lower end ones, but I've had some pretty good results for the, mind you, I've had some pretty good results for that too. It's just a matter of getting the feel for it and what it wants, you know. Because I haven't sprayed that caprethane really through it before, except for the springs and the diff, where I wasn't trying to be quite so fussy, if you know what I mean. But should be pretty good, I think. Once these have been wet sanded out, I sprayed up and around the edges too, because you know, I had a wee bit extra paint, and I did a couple of I didn't actually blow hard out inside because it's going to be texture undercoated and shit anyway. But I just sort of flicked in to try and cover in around the edges a little bit, which will give it a bit of extra. That'll make it a little bit easier spraying when we do actually put the gloss on. I'm not going to be quite so fussy around the edges, if you know what I mean, because there's already black in around there. But we'll probably do the texture first, I'd imagine, when I start doing all the other stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I really want texture for undercoat for inside of that, inside of these, the back of that, the back of the body. I want texture coat for the inside, and in here. I think that's all that needs it. I could probably do in here too, but I don't think it's worth it. He just wants to do in the back of this. You know, to probably help stop road noise, but it's not going to really make a lot of difference in this thing. But it's what he wants, so. Oh, and probably the underneath of that will be the pieces that get the texture undercoat. Anyway, I'm going to go some lunch. What did I tell you, Arco? Where are my fucking tops? Again. Right, so these have had about an hour to dry off since I sprayed them just before lunch. They look pretty good for semi-gloss. I'd actually, when I build my, if I build my rat, I might paint it semi-gloss like this. Looks quite good. But I might patina it as well a little bit and make it look old, because I'll probably end up building a lot of it by hand. Yep. Forgetting how low that thing is with my head on. Cut my head off. But I'm pretty happy with the way they look. Any little imperfections that I can see, I'm pretty sure will come out once I wet sand. The odd little blemish and whatever, most of it will come out. So that's cool. They look good. Pretty happy with them. Pretty happy. They look good. They actually freaking damn sight better than they come up anyway. That one wasn't bad, but that first lot of paint, I just had it too thick. I just mixed it like the reducing levels of what the cups say, you know, for the 4 to 1 to 1. But yeah, I need it. It needs, for some reason, that stuff likes quite extra bit of reducer in it, just to make it flow out. That's cool. That is nice. But it did. It's a little bit orange peely, but I might try that 1.3 and just see if it will lay out flatter. Maybe a touch more. I might just lift the pressure up a little bit too. I'm spraying this about 32 psi with that gun. I normally spray about 28, but I might just lift it up to maybe like 35 or something, and just run a little bit more reducer in it and see what they'll lay out like. I'll soon know after that first coat if it doesn't lay out terribly good. You know, I can always pull the pressure back a little bit. That's cool. Alrighty, I'll get sending this frickin' shit here off again. That should be good and dry now. Knock all this crap off. I might swap. That was one of mud up first, so that's had a little bit longer to dry off. Not that it should make much difference, but it doesn't feel bad at all. So it's been a wee bit cooler today. So yeah, I'll sand that one out, and then I'll swap to this one. That'll just give this one an extra half an hour to cure off a bit more, and then I'll attack these. Yeah, the advanced here. And it's only one thing I'm wondering. I don't know, I'm just debating, because this piece is going to be black, the rest of it's going to be blue. Do I paint the blue first, and then mask underneath here, and then paint that black? Or I'll paint this black, and blow it down under here, and then mask that out, and paint the blue down. I think it'd be easier to paint the blue, and then mask around, and spray the black. I think, because then you can get a nice sharp edge up underneath, and then if it's a little, if there's black on that bottom edge of that, it doesn't matter, whereas it's going to be more awkward to get a really good line here. You know what I mean? It's be easier to mask up against that edge than it will be against this edge, if you know what I mean. Like against one will be in here, or the other way would be here, if you know what I mean. Just think it'd be easier to paint the blue. What do you guys think? Righty, so I'm packing up for the day. Well, I wouldn't say for the year, but almost. Yeah, I'll pick that up in a minute. I'll pick it up now. So I've been sanding the crap out of these two side balances, basically. It's pretty much all I've done all afternoon, is just smash them back. So I've done that one, and then reapplied, apart from mainly on this outward edge, like on the piece that actually faces out. And I've done a little bit on here, because I'm just not sure what all seen and what's not. I know towards the front there's a lot more of it seen than what there is at the back. I think it's pretty much sort of just from this edge, a little bit past this edge down is seen. Where it sort of tucks in. Obviously where it sort of tucks in here, it comes up and then goes into underneath the body. Whereas, you sort of see that last sort of inch or two, as it pops out here, and then they've got the piece that sticks out in the fender. So I see a little bit of it there, but by the time it gets towards the front, you're seeing quite a bit of it. So I've still got to make sure that's right. So I've obviously taken them off there just in case something happens over the weekend. The 2 days that I'm away. So yeah, and yeah, I'm almost virtually finished sanding this side, but I'm going to need a bit more in a few spots. There's an odd spot where this had a bit of a whoop in it. Well, I took a lot of it out, but it's still got a bit of a low spot there, so it needs a little bit more just through here. Maybe a little bit in here. You can see that. There's another wee spot down here somewhere that needs a little bit of it here. But the rest it's pretty good, I think. Might need a little bit up front. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to remember. And I'm just trying to block this the top part of it, the back, that obviously sits underneath the car from, sort of here on sort of type thing. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. And probably more of the same Monday. But yeah, I think maybe Monday, once I've sort of finished blocking these back, I might go back to possibly wet sanding those front fenders. I'll see how obviously we get on. If I can get these finished, finished obviously putting body filler in and then blocking back. Hopefully that catches that one, and this one needs a little bit more. I haven't gone back and sanded anything out extra off that yet, but hopefully that's all basically done too. So yeah, so maybe wet sand that Monday and whatever. So Merry Christmas, because I'll try and get this up tonight, this video, which is 24th for me, 23rd for you guys, so you guys will see it on the 24th. Possibly, if I get a chance to get it edited. So yeah, Merry Christmas, and we'll say Happy New Year, but I better say that next week sometime. Yeah, and have a good Christmas Day and Boxing Day and whatever else. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Alright, cheers.